guys, and today I want to talk to you about my Invisalign treatment. And I'm currently undergoing Invisalign treatment, and I sort of want to discuss with you all the pros and cons of the treatment. I had my top aligners for only 3 weeks, but my bottom ones I had for 9 weeks so far. So I think I know quite a lot about it, and if you are planning to get one, then you know what to expect. I'm just going to tell you how everything works, and then probably once I'm done with all my treatment, I will show you the difference in my teeth as well, because at the moment you can see a difference on my bottom teeth. Definitely they are straighter, but I never had that major of a problem with my bottom teeth. So firstly, I'm going to start with what you get when you start your treatment, and you get basically this. And this is patient starter kit, and just this little box. You can put your name on it, although I never did. And inside this box you get 2 of these, and these are cases, and you may think, why do I get 2, not only 1? Well, this one, the blue one, is the one to put my current aligners in, because, oh yeah, if you don't know, Invisalign you can take out whenever you want to, and you have to take it out for eating or for brushing your teeth. So whenever I eat or go out somewhere to a restaurant or something, I take this with me and I put my aligners in there, so then obviously it's more hygienic, and you're also less likely to lose them if you keep them in here. But currently I have nothing in here, and I don't have my aligners in either. They are in my bathroom. The reason why I'm not wearing any right now is because they give you slight speech difficulties, and although in real life it doesn't bother me that much, on camera it would, because some people have a difficulty understanding me anyway. Like, not in real life, but on YouTube, like, I got certain comments of people saying that it's sometimes hard to understand me, so I didn't want to put my aligners in and then be even harder to understand. But usually I would keep them in here, my current one, and also inside this little thing, I don't know if you can see that, but it says optimal wear 22 hours per day. So ideally you should be wearing this for 22 hours a day, so you have to wear it to sleep, and you have to wear it to school, college, work, whatever you do, but you take it out for eating and for brushing, as I said. So this may seem quite, 22 hours is quite extreme, and you will find that it's quite difficult to do all 22 hours, because eating often takes longer than that, especially if you like eating out. And obviously breakfast, lunch and dinner. I mean, there are many days where I try to wear my liner for 22 hours per day, but there are also many days where it's not really possible. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if 1 day or 2 days a week you wear this for 20 hours a day. It won't be that big of a deal. Just try to wear it as much as possible to assure that your treatment will be done as quickly and as effectively as possible. And then the red one, the red case, is for your old aligners, because you change aligners every 2 weeks. But you don't keep all of them in here, obviously. You only keep your previous one, and this is because you may lose your current one. You may just put it somewhere, you may not be able to find it, and then you have to just wear your old one till you can see your orthodontist, and then they can give you the one you lost or the next one up for you. So this is where I keep my 2 previous aligners, one for the top, one for the bottom. But yeah, you change your aligners every 2 weeks, so then they are more fitted towards your teeth, and your teeth obviously will change, the movement will change, and each aligner will be kind of tighter. And sometimes you don't really feel much of a difference when you put a new one in, and sometimes it will give you kind of a speech problems and slight pain, nothing big whatsoever. It's not like massive pain, but slight pain for about a day, but nothing major. Like when you start the treatment, although I must say it will be really quite painful. And also in this box you get this, and this is just 3 of your aligners. So basically, usually, or at least that's how it is with me, he will put one in and then give you 2 ones to change. So your next visit doesn't have to be in 2 weeks time, but it will be in 6 weeks time instead, because you will get 3 aligners to change yourself, and then in 6 weeks time you will have another visit. Although my next visit, which is on the 3rd of June, I should be getting a lot more aligners with me, because then I'm going away on holiday, and it is possible that you get like, for example, 8 if you need to, because I'm going for the entire summer. But yeah, that's how they look, and you have different pouches for different weeks, and it says on the back of here which one it is, so you know this is, for example, the first one, second one and third one. For me this is the fourth one, fifth one and sixth one, and currently I'm using this. These two are empty because this is my previous one that I had, and this is my current one, and this is my new one. And I'm actually going to open and show you how the aligners look. So they look like this. They're basically see-through, kind of plasticky aligners. Like my nan thought every single braces have to be metal, but it's not true. These are not metal. There is no metal in here, as you can see. They look kind of like, they kind of remind me of my mom's whitening kind of braces. I don't know, my mom has something like this, but it's not for straightening your teeth but for whitening them. But yeah, that like that, you put them on the top and on the bottom, and you can barely see them, honestly. You can see slight shyness and your teeth look extra shiny, not necessarily in a good way, it just looks weirdly shiny, and if somebody will look very up close to you, they will be able to tell that you have these in, but it won't be something very noticeable, nothing as noticeable as metal braces. Or even you can get clear, kind of clear metal braces, and still it's still a lot more noticeable than this. This and the braces that you can get at the back of your teeth are the least visible ones. I didn't know whether I wanted these or the ones that you can get at the back of your teeth, but apparently the other ones had a lot more. They're a lot harder to maintain and they really bother your tongue, and they are generally used for like major teeth problems. For me, I never really had major teeth problems. This is just a slight problem that I had with my teeth. I just thought they weren't very straight, nothing major at all. And the last thing that comes in this box is just an instruction manual. And that's it. I just choose to keep this usually, and the red case in here, and obviously the blue one I take with me everywhere I go. Okay, so now I want to discuss the pros and cons of a treatment with you. So first of all, I think one of the biggest factor is Invisalign is pretty much clear. You can see it ever so slightly, but it's nothing major whatsoever. I don't have problems, like people don't really notice it unless I point it out. So that's a good thing. Second thing, it's really easy to maintain. You don't have as much of a hygiene issues with it. I mean, saying hygiene like oral hygiene. So when you have actual braces in, you have to do a lot more brushing, you have to do a lot more maintaining to make sure your breath doesn't really smell, because you can often find people with braces, their breath will have tendency to smell just because everything will get clogged up in the braces and you have to do a lot more extra brushing. Whereas with Invisalign you can take it off and do the brushing. Also with Invisalign you can potentially take it off when you have like a special event, like a wedding or like conference or something important to go to, where you know you will be taking pictures, you may get filmed. You can basically take your Invisalign out and then don't wear it for that few hours. Out with metal braces, you are stuck with them, you can't take them out, and with these you can take them out whenever you want to, whenever you need to. Another thing that I really like about Invisalign is that you can easily see the progress of your teeth, because you can take it out and see how your teeth are changing, or whenever you change to the next eyeliner you can sort of compare your teeth and see how they are changing. It's a lot harder to do with the metal braces because you can't again take them off, so you can't really see the progress and see how your teeth has changed so well. Whereas for me, I can definitely see the difference in my bottom teeth. Like my bottom teeth feel a lot more straighter. There's only one tooth that kind of sticks out, but the rest are pretty much like dead straight, and I'm so impressed because I've never had that. But definitely if you want to keep in track of your treatment, you can take pictures of your teeth each week or every 2 weeks and see how your teeth have changed. Also, Invisalign treatment is almost half as short as the normal metal braces treatment. Like my treatment will probably take anywhere from 6 months to 9 months, which is really quick. I know some people though have to wear it for like 12 months or 13 months, depending on how bad their teeth were to start with. But in general, it's about half a shot, which is obviously good because you want your teeth to be straight as quickly as possible. You don't want to wait a long time and having to deal with the braces, so the quicker the treatment, obviously the better. And another thing which again goes with it being easier to maintain is the fact that metal braces can often break. The wires can break if you chew something hard like an apple. I remember this happened to a couple of my friends back in the days, back in the school days, when a lot of my friends used to wear metal braces. They used to break, the wire would break and start hurting them, and they would have to get an emergency appointment at the orthodontist, and they would have to try to fix it. And for me, and for someone who travels so much, that would be sort of impossible because I would be away for like a month or 2 months, and then my wire would break and I wouldn't have my orthodontist to go to, and I would have to go somewhere private and pay more money. Whereas with this, if something happens, if it breaks, snaps, whatever, you just put your new one or old one in without the need to see your orthodontist. However, now I'm going to go on to the cons of the treatment, and I think the first one is the most obvious one, and that is the price. Invisalign is very pricey, and I mean very pricey, because there are a lot of things to it, like you get so many aligners. Even though the normal braces are still quite pricey, they are nowhere as pricey as Invisalign. From the top of my head, I paid about 3,300 for the treatment itself, but then you also get consultation costs that were at the start, because before you get Invisalign you obviously have to go to your orthodontist, get a consultation, he will talk you through everything, and I had 2 or 3 consultations because also I had to get fillings in my teeth, because before your treatment you have to have all your teeth cured, and they have to make sure there is no decay or anything developing in your teeth. So I had to have that done, so I had to have like 3 consultations plus the fillings, but I'm not even counting the cost of the fillings, I'm just counting here the cost of my consultation. But the treatment itself plus the consultations almost came up to £3,500. So basically £3,500 for Invisalign treatment. That's a lot of money, and I realize not everyone will be able to justify spending that much money for a pair of braces, because it's not a car, or it's not like a brand new Mac or something. I don't know, it just seems like a lot of money for braces, and I know that perhaps it's cheaper in other places, in other countries. I know here in England it will be hard to find something cheaper, but if you are not ready to spend about £3,500, maybe a little bit less if you are lucky, then just go for the regular braces. There is nothing wrong with regular braces. Secondly, this is what happens with all the braces, but I have to warn you guys, you get a speech difficulty when you wear Invisalign, but at start it will be really horrible. You will be hard to understand at start, or at least I was. For me, it was very painful at start, and I even told myself when I was wearing Invisalign for a few days and I had blisters on my tongue and everything hurt, that if it would cost £500 I would take it out, but because it was so expensive I knew I had to keep it in, and I'm so glad I did, because after about a week on my bottom one they stopped hurting. You still get a little bit of a funny speech. It's nothing major, and some people won't be even able to tell. Only picky people will be able to tell. But I mean, I can hear in myself whenever I have Invisalign in. I can hear a difference in my voice. Same with Alfie Days. If you know him, you probably know him here on YouTube. He's undergoing Invisalign treatment at the moment as well. He started I think 2 weeks before I have, like he got his first aligner in 2 weeks before I got my first one, and people in the comments always pointed out to him whenever he wears them, so I suppose you can always tell. But if you think your speech is horrible because you started the treatment, it will get better. It won't get like absolutely perfect, but it will get better. Another cons that happened to me with my lower braces, it didn't happen with my top ones, and basically one of the edges of my lower liner is always very sharp, very edgy, very uncomfortable for my tongue. And that's why the start of my Invisalign treatment was so hard, because I put my liner in, and within like half a day of me trying to speak to people and do my own thing, I got tongue blisters, and that shouldn't happen. Let me just assure you guys, that shouldn't happen. But I mean, I didn't know that back then. I didn't know that my aligner was faulty, but it was hurting so bad, and I had this terrible tongue blister. I couldn't use mouthwash, I could barely eat certain things, it was really painful. And I had to file it with a nail file. I've read online that this was totally fine to file it. So if that happens to you, you can also file it with your nail file. However, what I would recommend is go and speak to your orthodontist about it, because he said to me that was fine and I can carry on doing this and file every single of my lower braces. But I asked him, can he cut and adjust the braces for me, and he did, and it's so much better than just me filing it myself. Another thing that some people don't know about, and I didn't know about it, and I read online, some people who got their Invisaligns were actually shocked and really disappointed by it. I wasn't. For me, that's not a big of a deal, but I suppose some people are. That's why I'm telling you about it. Sometimes you will need teeth attachments. And basically what teeth attachments are, and I'm going to show you in a minute how mine look, are kind of bumpy things. I'm not sure what they're made out of, but they are white, and they feel similar to your teeth, so they are very kind of hard and sturdy and white. They don't hurt you once you get used to them, but at start you may find them quite uncomfortable. I don't mind them. The only one I really mind is this one here. You probably will be able to tell from the close-up, but it's really quite annoying when I want to film. When I have my braces on, you can't see them, and that's totally fine. But when you have them off, you can't really see them much either because they're white, but this one is quite pointy. It's a lot more pointy than any of my other ones, and it's kind of really at the front. But again, unless you speak to someone with your mouth very open, and somebody is very picky about things like that and very close to you, they won't be able to tell. If they're close to you, they will probably able to tell. The amount of your attachments and the placement on what teeth your attachments will be simply depends on your personal teeth. So I can't tell you guys whether you will need some at all, or whether they will be right here at front or maybe at the back where nobody will be able to tell you have something. But you will probably need attachments to stimulate your teeth movement. But I don't think they're that big of a deal. At least they never were for me. I think they're not a big deal at all. Once you're done with your treatment, you won't be stuck with them. They will take them off definitely. I forgot to mention, totally sorry guys, within the price you also get, or at least I also got, free whitening session at the end of the treatment. So after I'm done with the treatment, I will get a free whitening session that's worth £200. So I suppose I save on that, because even if I wouldn't get it for free, I would still have to pay for it. So potentially, if you are interested about whitening your teeth anyway, you could take that money out of the total cost of Invisalign. And whether it's worth it and whether I'm happy, the answer is yes. I am happy and I believe it's worth it. I really am happy. I think it's pricey, and that's my biggest concern about this treatment. So that is the end. Thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, please like it and subscribe to me if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!